Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome, one and all, to a brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. I am Matt Tsutsuti. Right on over here is Brian the Darkwing Daly and the Penguin lover himself, Michael Klankoff. And behind the board, the broken one, Rob Povia.
He's here, standing up.
Wonderful, yeah. All of this brought to you by the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com.
Ah, damn it.
I had to do it that time. Too easy. All right.
I always love Tom's comments right off the bat. Best hair in the biz. You just gotta love it.
Tom Arnone, the founder of A2DRadio.com.
By the way, I got it on today.
Oh, he's got the magic. He's got the magic stick.
Penguins aren't feeling it, though. That's for sure.
Either was anybody in Pennsylvania wasn't feeling
Nope,
it today.
not really.
So.
Nope, not at all. The Flyers absolutely weren't feeling it at all. But luckily for us, though, it's looking like the New Jersey Devils might be well on their way to a loss. So, you know what? We can breathe. Both of us can breathe a sigh of relief. You, because the Devils are right behind you on your ass, and also because I don't want to deal with the Devils in any playoff capacity whatsoever. All you have to do is go onto Wikipedia or any other NHL history site, and you'll understand why I don't want the Devils anywhere near us.
Well, no, the Capitals jumped back into first place, I think, as of right now, right?
They did, but you know
they,
what?
They jumped back in after they went against Ottawa the other night.
But the Flyers can always.
Keystone.
Yeah, the Flyers.
Not right now. Not right now. We need Matt Murray back until Voracek knocks him out. But.
Yeah, during most likely a playoff series that'll be between our two teams. Because it's looking like it's going to happen at this point in time. However, the Flyers did manage to pull off something that, quite frankly, I don't think anybody in this room thought possible. Although, when we did bring it up in a poll a little bit earlier on in the season, this guy right on over here did actually say it was possible. Oddly enough, it did happen. The Philadelphia Flyers with of all things, a shootout win from Sean Couturier, giving the Flyers first place in the Metropolitan Division, albeit for a short period of time, but man, it felt pretty damn good to finally be able to say we actually were first in the Metropolitan Division. Well ahead of schedule, in my opinion. I was more than excited to see that happen.
I mean, it's an ugly win, but they got it done. I mean, I've never even heard of a goaltender in Montreal, to be honest. I was watching a game. I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah, why the hell is he competing with Mrazek?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like watching the game. I'm like, man, it's 0-0 going into a shootout. Half of Montreal's depleted. Their goaltenders are hurt. I'm like, it's 0-0 against maybe one of the best teams in the league right now.
And they traded away one of their best face-off guys.
So. I'm like, Plekanec. And I'm like sitting there. It's 0-0. And of course, as soon as I turn it on, Couturier goes and gets the game winner. I even said to me and my mom were watching the game. I said, hey, Mom, guaranteed this guy scores. And you bet you damn right he did.
And, yep, that was great. The moment, though, that it went to a shit, I was like, oh, God, we're dead. We lost. It's over. We can't even win first place in the division when it's handed right to us. Yeah. God damn it. Sure enough, they managed to pull off a miracle and win in a shootout against a very weak Montreal Canadiens team. Oh, that felt good, though. That felt real good to be number one in the Metropolitan, even if it was for like half a second. A day. We got a cup of coffee as first in the division, and then that was pretty much the end of it.
Yeah, but you're not out of it yet. You're only a point behind Washington.
No, I know. I'm just saying, though, it felt good, though, to actually be able to achieve the fact that at some point in the season, we could have said we were first in the division. At least we still could say that.
I never thought that was going to happen, to be completely honest with you.
I did. I mean, and it was when were we talking about this? It was just right after their 10-game skid, and then it went on a 4 or 5-game winning streak.
Something like that. It was right after the
Something after
rebound
that.
in December
And
when they had that big blowout.
That's when
in
I said,
December.
this team does have a chance, which, obviously we're seeing that now. And I'm kind of surprised now that Elliott has been out. They obviously traded him Mrazek, which I wasn't here last week to talk about that. But I did say if you could get him for a conditional lower-level pick, it would be a great move. And so far it's worked, except for tonight. He's 3-1.
I wouldn't even necessarily blame him for tonight.
No, not really.
A lot of it, from what I've heard, obviously I'm driving down. I couldn't watch the game, and I had class tonight. So from what I've heard, was a lot of it was just poor play.
Poor defensive play, yep.
Yeah.
Which, unfortunately, the Flyers have a habit of. They have a good game, then they have a bad game. And thank God Florida scored that third goal because Devils did manage to get it to be 3-2. I am keeping a live update on this because this does affect both teams. It's only 3-2, and it's 1:06 left in the third.
Come on, Florida.
Hold on. It's not over yet. Stoppage and play.
Looks like 1:06 left.
What butt Pirates scored for the Devils here? Let me see here.
Probably Taylor Hall because
the biggest one of them all. Yeah, let's see here. While I look.
if you go right down
there
here,
it is.
Maddie.
No. My computer's weird.
Okay.
So with that, Jesper Bratt got the goal.
The Brat.
Yeah.
He is pretty fucking good.
He is good. I like that kid.
He's got one of the best last names too,
Yeah.
Bratt. There's no better name
Jesper
for a
Bratt.
hockey player than Bratt. Like seriously.
But hey, man, I know you hate him, but Taylor Hall, man, 23 straight games now with a point.
Well, the reason why I hate him is simply because he decided to throw on period blood and it doesn't suit him.
Yeah.
So, that's not exactly what I want to say.
It's working well. I wonder where the GM came from. I mean,
the GM?
Ray Shiro.
Mm-hmm.
He knew how to work some things out in Pittsburgh, but
Had to
seems to be
learn somehow.
starting to work its way through in New Jersey, which is a shame.
Yeah, that's a crying shame. It's like it could have been too much to ask for, Ray to say, hey, could you just go to a West team? Go to the West Coast, please.
Go to Phoenix.
Please. Yes,
Or,
go
sorry,
to Arizona. They
excuse
need
me,
something
Arizona.
out there, please. Just go fix that team. You don't have to fix the Devils.
Which were on
Please.
a pretty big hot streak themselves, to be honest. They won like 6 of their last 8 games.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
They actually won games.
Yeah.
Wow.
Last I saw, they were losing to Minnesota 1-0. Who Minnesota's been hot as hell too.
Yeah,
What a
Minnesota's been a tough team to play as of late. They're third in their division right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, although credit given to Arizona, they are this close to breaking 20 in the win column. So if they could break 20 in the win column, I think that is a success for the Arizona Coyotes. They actually managed to get to 20 wins
That's
in the regular season.
Poor guy. Poor Tocchet.
Took them till March, but they got
Hey, finally made it happen, man. Hey, dream big, man. Dream big. So with that being said, the Flyers unfortunately taking the loss. Pittsburgh's taking a loss as well.
Yeah.
If the Devils do lose, though, no ground
That's
is really
great.
lost or gained. Literally, all the teams that are competing for spots
Stalemate.
literally have gained nothing out of it, except Carolina, who is hoping with their win against the Flyers to gain a wild card spot on the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's pretty much the most significant thing that is happening tonight. What about in the West Coast there? Got anything to report on the Ducks side of things? Because they're actually in the playoffs now. See, he wasn't ready.
No, I'm ready. I just don't know how to explain it because Anaheim hasn't really played since Sunday. They don't play again until Friday, and Anaheim has dropped from third in their division to the second wildcard spot.
I know, but still
a playoff spot.
Yeah. So it's not like it's bad.
I know you were very fond of the trade that they made.
Oh, yeah.
Good old Chimera.
Good old Jason Chimera coming to Anaheim for the league leading hitter. Wow, Murray, what are you doing?
Well, it's not exactly like he needs to go find scoring talent.
You know what's funny? The funniest thing about it is he's like, oh, yeah, we upgraded. We went from having we went out and we got some speed. We got a little bit faster. In what world does Jason Chimera have any speed?
Wait a minute, what? Hold on, what? Wait a minute, he said that?
He said that. He said that in the post straight line conference that he usually has.
Okay, what street of East LA and what street corner did he get the crack that he smoked to actually believe
I wanna know.
even a half
I want to know where he got
where
the crack to make that deal.
Like, what the hell?
Jason Chimera, here's – look.
He texts me, he goes, what the fuck? He goes, Jason Chimera.
Like, I'm okay. Like, we also signed Chris Kelly that day.
Yes.
And I'm okay with that one.
We got a final. Florida wins against New
Yes.
Jersey.
Fuck them Devils.
I'm okay
Thank
with
you.
the signing of Chris
Thank
Kelly.
you, Florida.
Yeah, Chris Kelly. He's always been nice, solid player, especially with Boston.
Yeah, and now he signed just after the Olympics, and I think he won gold, bronze,
Something like
they
that.
won bronze. I know Team Canada medaled,
I
don't remember which
I think
one.
they won the bronze.
but
Yeah,
Canada?
Yeah.
yeah,
Bronze.
men's Canada.
Yeah, I mean they almost fell.
I wish frickin' Germany pulled it through, man.
Yeah, they were the Cinderella of this.
Oh my god.
And this is why, and I'm not going to get too deep into this because I want to get my other point across. This is why I love the NHL players not being in, because now it levels the playing field for everybody. And now teams
Yeah.
like Germany actually have a shot at winning gold
But the thing
instead
is,
of having to go up against these NHL All-Star teams.
But I live in America, and
I get
obviously
it.
our leagues aren't as good as the European leagues to me. Anyway.
I get it.
At
No,
least
I
the lower
understand.
leagues after
Yeah.
the NHL.
After the
yeah.
NHL, it's like
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
kinda
now
like shit.
But now it's this year in the Olympics it was a crapshoot, and I loved it. I was like, all right, who's going to get it?
yeah.
USA got eliminated. Canada wound up in the bronze medal game when they could have been in the gold medal game with USA, or USA in the bronze.
drawing a blank.
But
on
it's
the
either
kid's
Fin.
name.
It's 4 teams that always wind up in the medal game. It's USA, Canada, Finland, Sweden. That's it.
Yeah.
And now it's level playing field. Now everybody has
Now
a
the
shot.
Czech
and that's what I
Republic
like
has half
about
a
it.
shot.
Real quick, guys. I mean, the good thing about not having NHL players in it. I mean, I would prefer it, and it was Bettman's decision, and we all know he makes great decisions.
Yes.
So we'll move on from there.
completely.
But what it does do is allows like NHL castaways that still have life in their bones
Yeah.
to sort of almost like audition for a team, kind of a la the
Well,
WBC for baseball.
Brian Giunta. And
Right.
2 points tonight, actually, against the Penguins.
I mean, his
So-
And
you're
his
right.
debut with the Bruins.
yeah.
Right, exactly. Case in point, and you get to see like the preview and in the true Olympic spirit, like back to the Miracle on Ice and
Right.
some of the young pups that we will be seeing in the NHL, like Jordan Greenway.
That's his name. I thought it was Greenway, but I wasn't sure. That kid is phenomenal.
Phenomenal, absolutely
Big
phenomenal.
body, too.
But
I
even
love
before
it.
that, Ted Donato's kid.
Yeah,
Ryan Donato, it was fabulous. Had a
Yeah.
great tournament. Has a great spinorama move in front of the net to score. He just slams it home, kind of a la Simmer. And Troy Terry was an awesome playmaker for USA. So, despite them not, yeah, exactly, Ducks product. That's why I made sure to
He looked
bring
good.
him up.
He looked
right?
he looked damn good. He had a great tournament.
But I mean, like, despite them, not getting into the medal rounds or whatnot, it really. It was a promising tournament for USA hockey moving forward. So it was
Yeah.
exciting.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. But jumping back to Chris Kelly he brings a little bit of veteran leadership, which the team really doesn't need. But he's
but it's
another
help.
option. The one thing the Ducks have is
And what's Chimera, Brian? What's Chimera? He's not veteran help?
he's a waste of space.
Let's define help, though. The term help implies that you are
The only
aiding
thing that-
somebody in their quest to become Stanley Cup
Right.
champions.
Jason Chimera, all he is, he's a tough guy now. That's all he is. He's going to be that guy that's going to, get in front of the net and just push people around. That's all he's going to do.
That's all
He's not
Jason
gonna
Chimera ever really did at the end
Jason
of the day.
Chimera, when he was with Washington, scored goals. Early in his
Barely.
career, he scored goals. But
Hey, Maddie,
yeah.
we picked up Johnny Oduya, so we can't really talk to you.
Oh,
No, I
dude.
like that move, actually.
I do it
even
too. No, for a veteran experience, and kind of the same thing for you as well. And,
But we didn't even start him, so it's just like I don't even know what we're doing.
Oh,
like,
do you
like,
think
what's
you could
the
dance,
point?
huh?
The funny part though of it is like you get Johnny Aduya and you don't even start him. Just like then, well, why the
Yeah.
fuck did you get him in the first
but a
place?
similar type player, though.
Like-
As a different position, but similar type.
All right, we got lots of comments rolling in here on
Yes, we
Facebook
do.
Live already. Love it. We got Chrome chiming in. Michael Chromiak. Gentlemen, Flyers will finish first. Got to believe it.
All right.
Winning is contagious.
It is. It is. Ever since the Eagles won that Super Bowl, man, watch out for the Sixers and the Flyers. Good God Almighty.
Yeah, and the Sixers actually are beating the Cavs right now, too. So
Whew.
We'll see if that holds
The
up.
defending champs. Damn.
Tom Arnone.
defending losing champs.
Tom Arnone chiming in as always. Best Sarah in the business. We still don't know who he's talking about.
Well, see, that's
I think
the,
it's a duo here.
See, that's the thing, though. That's the mystique of it. Tom's building mystique. He doesn't
I
want
know
you
it's
to
not me.
know what he's talking about. Well, no, you got
I
the,
know
you got
it's
that,
not
you got
me.
the
I
flow
got
going
here.
there. Yeah.
I got it
Remember,
here,
you got the
but I
scrub
don't,
going
losing
there.
it
You
here.
know, like
Yeah.
that's.
I might be with you in a week or two, Bryce. So don't worry. I gotta part ways with it.
Really?
Yeah. Making moves.
I see.
Oh,
Making
man.
moves. Okay.
Doug Zeke chiming in. The next 9 games will answer that question. I'm going to say no. I kind of agree to that, but I disagree with the no part. Because it's a lot of games against the Metropolitan Division, and it's going to be a lot of games for the Flyers to take advantage of and gain points and gain space in the standings. Greg Malakovich chiming in with, I'm going to say yes because why the hell not? City of winners. Flow on, boys. Flow on.
There you go.
Chrome chiming back in. This one's for you specifically, Maddie.
Okay.
He says, hey, Maddie, any insight on the rumor that Tito Santana was spotted on the Flyers game tonight with an Andrew McDonald jersey on?
Yes, actually, he was. That's the whole reason why we lost, as a matter of fact, because, Tito brings such good luck to anything that he touches. As Chrome likes to say, he is the greatest jobber that ever stepped foot in the WWE ring. Former Intercontinental Champion and Tag Team Champion that he is, with Strikeforce, had the gayest theme song in the world. And moving on, we also had Andrew McDonald, a player I absolutely cannot stand beyond all belief.
You mean your assistant captain?
Yeah, a player I absolutely cannot stand, and God, I want him gone.
Yeah, I stuck up for him last week when you guys were nice enough to let me kind of kick some positives towards the guy we usually lambaste. But tonight, man, he looked like a duck or a fish out of water.
You look like
his
an
balance.
Anaheim Duck, didn't you?
Yeah. I tried to squeeze the duck reference and I couldn't make it work. But he basically got off balance, and there was a clearing opportunity for one of our forwards. But instead, he scrambles to tip the puck right to a Carolina defender for a one-time in front of the net. Didn't score, but that's the type of examples of why Andy McDonald must die.
Oh, man.
All right, moving on.
but Chrome is correct. He is very correct on this one. Before we continue on the Facebook real fast, we got a few YouTube comments rolling on in from Tristan Fowler saying Mrazek is on fire. This is true. Not tonight, but not his fault.
Yeah.
Moving on. Next up, hopefully they do. I think they can be a serious threat if they can. I think they're a serious threat now, even if they don't take first place in the division.
I do
because
too, especially when Elliott comes back. They have a whole carousel of goaltenders, which is great.
Yeah, and
Which
you're
the
gonna
Penguins
get, you're
don't
gonna get
have,
Elliott back.
obviously, Ala tonight.
And they will most likely get injured if you
Oh
have
my
to face the
God.
Flyers in the playoffs again, because
Or-
this is what happens.
Or, you could be Vegas in the beginning of the year, have that actual carousel
of injuries.
and
And
still
be in
manage
first
to
place.
be
Still be the
the
number two
first
team in the
overall
league.
in the freaking NHL, by the way.
Oh, my God.
I mean,
Flower power, baby.
Oh, well, they're not first in the NHL overall, but
Nah,
still,
they're
they're
second,
first
but
in the
still.
Pacific. Like, for Christ's sake. Whew. Most likely we'll have home ice throughout the entire playoffs. Like, seriously.
Could you imagine?
He hates them so much.
I'm starting to. I'm starting to hate them more than the Kings right now.
Oh, that's saying a
They
lot.
just keep winning.
Oh, my
There's going to be another team
It's
in the Pacific
amazing.
Division
We have
too?
found
Oh.
it took this long, but I think the Anaheim Ducks, or at least Brian, has found his New Jersey Devils. He has found them. It is the Las Vegas Golden Knights, to your point, your Washington Capitals. But anyway, with that being said,
Yeah, but we don't really lose to them. So
this is true. Yeah. All right. Well, then, what team would you hold up there right now?
wow, right now, I mean tonight, Boston. We've
Boston.
always had a cancer against Boston. Playoffs, in the season, anything. You know?
Although, except for the Lemieux era, they used to beat Boston all the
the
time.
last
But that was a different story.
That was
yeah.
when Boston sucked.
yeah, but
Well, they only had
last,
Bork.
the
Ray
last
Bork
time
and Brian Ralston.
the Penguins played Boston in the playoffs, we saw what happened.
I
All right.
forgot Brian Ralston played for them. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No,
yeah,
no, I'm just saying the last.
immediate ADD kicked in there. Anyway.
Is that a moth?
No,
but
look at the spot.
Ooh,
I'm saying
bright light.
the last time that the Penguins played Boston in the playoffs, I mean, they brought out the broomsticks. We had nothing for them.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, we thought Iginla was going to be this great piece, and
Yeah.
wow, did he suck.
It was the curse of Iginla, because you know what happened, too, after Boston got Iginla? Zilch happened with him. But anyway,
Poor guy.
yeah, I do feel bad for Iginla. I don't know if you do, because he was a king, but, Nah. All right. Anyway, moving on.
Nothing to hurt there.
David Roska chiming in. Moving on, David Roska. The Flyers should have won the 8th straight to keep the streak going. Well, they should have, David, but they should have done a lot
they
of
They
things.
didn't.
should have. They played. They're brains weren't working tonight.
They should have done a lot of things, like not trading Sergei Bobrovsky back in the day. But you know what? Shit fucking happens, right? Moving on, David Roska saying Anaheim Ducks should have got Nash and Carlson. I'll let you field it again.
No, Dave, I'm sorry, man. I love the thought.
Wait, the Ducks?
Rick Nash. Well, there's many reasons why they didn't go after them. I heard the Ducks were in play for Carlson for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
But as far as
From
Nash
what?
goes, he's washed up. Or he's on the verge of being washed up. He's at the tail end of
scored
his
a goal
career.
tonight.
The moment he went to New York,
Yes, he
wash
did.
the fuck up, fuck him. He's a piece of shit. He's in the New York Rangers now.
And Eric Carlson, this is too much money. Too much of a
Yeah.
cap hit. The Ducks
Which-
don't have much room.
Speaking of cap hit, obviously Penguins getting Derek Brassard in the trade, and that's the whole reason why the trade happened between Vegas and us for Ryan Reeves, Vegas took $2 million of his contract. So, I mean, we have him for this season and next season. So, it's not just a rental.
win.
Which
It's
we
a win.
Like I said, we gave up a lot, but we also gave up Ryan Reeves, which is obviously an enforcer. Gave up Ian Cole to Ottawa, who eventually got traded to Columbus, which I think
This
is
is a great
such
move.
a great fit for him. I love the fact
Columbus
that he got
is
sent
going to make a
Columbus.
run.
They are.
Oh, well,
They
they
are.
And they
have
picked
to.
up Thomas Vanek, too, who's having a great year.
They have to.
There's
It
no
is.
doubt.
This is go big, go home time for Columbus. They have to do or die because if they don't,
They're scary now.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. They have to be because if they don't, they can either get stopped by Carolina because Carolina, with their win against Philadelphia, ties them tonight. And not only that, too, they still have to contend with New Jersey that they want to try and at least push down because here's the thing. If you're Columbus, you're thinking to yourself, okay, who do we want to face in the playoffs? You don't want to face Tampa because Tampa's a buzzsaw. I'd rather take Washington.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
they
definitely.
want to push New Jersey down because Jersey's the current opponent for Washington. They don't want to deal with Tampa. I don't think anybody wants to deal with Tampa right now.
I'm not touching Tampa right now. Michael, we're going to jump over back to Facebook Live here real quick, read off some more comments. We got Michael Mataraki chiming in. Tough one tonight, fellas. Look flat from the jump. Playing great hockey, though. No reason they can't win a division.
All right, then. There we go.
I agree. Only thing I would say about that is they weren't – I wouldn't necessarily say they were flat, but they did play pretty – they made some bad decisions in front of the net.
It got bad as the game went forward.
It did.
You know, it's
I mean, the best example I can give you is Travis Konechny was on a breakaway, or it was like a one-on-one, and passed the puck.
yeah,
So,
that's a mistake.
Brain farts like that, they're not going to win you hockey games.
Yeah, TK with the only goal tonight, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Irony.
still, though, that's the silver lining. At least young guys are still scoring. So we'll take that silver lining. But again, though, this ain't a loss to hang your head on. It's just like, you know what? We were going to have that at some point. We're going to come back down to earth. The only thing that concerns me, though, is our next opponent happens to be that team that I mentioned was a buzzsaw. And we got to face them in their home turf. I'm really upset that we had to lose to Carolina, and now we got to face Tampa. I'm like, could you have just waited one game, beat Carolina, and then lose to Tampa? At least then
And
it's
then you play
understandable.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but at least you lose to Tampa, and then you take all the frustration out that you had against Tampa on Pittsburgh and injure their goalie again. There you go.
Which one, the third string or the second? Second
Both.
string?
Well, I injured the same one that's on the bench somehow. Anyway.
You'll
They
hit
take
Matt
them all
Murray
out.
from the stands.
We got our own Rob Povia chiming in on Facebook Live saying Justin Williams, Flyers killer.
Yeah.
Which is the absolute truth.
It is. And
He
my
always finds a way to find a score sheet when he's
and the
playing Philly.
worst part of it is he was a Flyer. Just
Yeah,
like
he was.
Christ, man, why did we not keep him?
You
Like
always forget
why
that.
the fuck did we not keep him? Also, why did we not keep Patrick Sharp? But you know what? There you go.
What are you
Yeah.
going to do? Frank Vespi chiming in and saying the Capitals will take the Metro, but the Flyers will settle nice, solid second place. A good sign for the future of the Orange and Black. Agreed.
I mean,
I think Washington is going to take this division.
if you have the staying power, Washington does.
It's going to be between one of those two. It's definitely going to be between Washington and Philly, without a doubt. Because I don't think right now Pittsburgh is strong enough, especially goaltender-wise right now, to get a push.
Well,
You know,
let's see here. I'm going to pull up Washington's schedule and compare it to Philly's, so
All
that
right.
way we can take a look and see who's got the rougher layout going down the stretch here.
And while you do that, I'm going to run down some more comments here. Rob Hovey also chiming in saying, would love to say yes, but too many injuries and good teams in the Metro.
Who cares what that guy thinks?
We'll finish ahead the Pens, though.
thanks.
Dan Bakley chiming in. I know they are out since forever ago, but anyone see how great the Coyotes have been playing as of late?
Bingo.
I mean, I really haven't.
Somebody's on my bandwagon.
But then again, the one game that I missed, the Anaheim Ducks lately, they got shut up by Arizona. So I'm just going to go back over here.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got to ask. I know we laid a big old goose egg, too, against Arizona. But, guys, how did that happen? Please let me know.
I don't know. I didn't watch the game.
Please let me know. Oh, God.
Tom Arnone chiming in. Hashtag family talk. You have a job to do real quick. You have to check Mikey into the boards.
Oh, I do? Okay.
Greg Milakovic chiming in said he said Spinorama. Also,
Wasn't really trying to
I now
coach
know
you.
why Johnny Oduya didn't play tonight.
I just saw that.
According to Dan Bakley, Oduya is having passport issues.
Yeah, same thing happened for Derek Brassard as
Oh, well, that would explain everything of why we didn't start him. All right.
He also goes on to say, how is William Karlsson killing it so much, yet he's only 4th on Vegas in points? Just because everybody else is playing better than he is, and he's playing really well. He's having a breakout year.
Crazy good.
This is true.
Okay, let's see. James Wilder. James, what's up, brother? Mrazek is my boy. LOL, son is... Wait, what? Son is dislikes to
Trade.
Oh, okay, here we go. Dislikes to trade. Only consolation is he came to Philly. We won't get to see Mrazek tomorrow night versus Winnipeg. Bummer, and Philly only comes here once a year, which is true. And I'm scared of Winnipeg.
Yeah.
They scare me, especially
They
getting
do.
Paul Stastny now.
Yeah.
I know. That just boosts
and I
them.
thought in the beginning of the season that this was just a joke, but realized this joke became serious.
For them, yes. It wasn't like the Devils. That was a joke.
Yeah.
Now
But now they're getting serious too, and it's fucking scary.
Well, all you got to do is just make
I
sure.
hate when other local teams do good.
Make sure you
well,
say
who
hi to
doesn't?
Barbara.
I will.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Aunt Barbara.
Danny Danko the third chiming in, saying Western Conference Finals is going to be Vegas and Nashville.
Oh,
and the Stanley
my
Cup Finals will
Lord.
be the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Vegas Golden
Way to
Knights.
pick the top 2 teams, Danny. I like it.
Yeah,
Oh,
but you know what? I agree with Danny. Not only are they just the top
Don't
2
agree
teams,
with that man.
I'm agreeing with him
Don't
only
agree with
because
him.
This is what
not only are they the top 2 teams in the league, but they are the 2 most dominant teams in the league that are winning
All right,
games
but
in pure domination.
Hold though. Let's clarify that though. Because you have a very dominant season does not mean you are going to be dominant
Washington
in the playoffs.
Rangers. No.
Let's
I
be
mean,
honest.
this is true. The President's Trophy curse, but
Canucks.
there are teams that have won the President's.
Don't remind me of that year, please. That was the year Boston won.
Tim
Please.
Thomas, baby.
No, do not remind me of that piece of
Listen,
shit. Please, no.
there are teams that have won
Call me
as the number
Mickey.
1 seed. Plenty of teams. Chicago won it 1 year. Detroit has won it 1 year. Actually, I think they've won it a couple times.
They actually
But-
did. Oh, and New
Yes.
Jersey. Oh, God, Jersey did it too, didn't they?
Yes,
oh,
they did.
Fuck, they did.
But
Oh.
yes, as much as there is a President's Trophy curse, there are teams that have beat it. And I think Tampa Bay, with the trades they made, is going to be too tough.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the thing, though. It only takes one team to turn all of your positives into negatives, and you're screwed. Think about it. Tampa has this wonderful offense, but if a goalie comes out and just shuts them the fuck down, that pretty much nullifies the one thing Tampa has.
Think about
No, Tampa Bay has a defense now. They're top 6. Their top 6
Yes.
in defense is a top 2, top 4
All right.
for most teams.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine,
it's
but
insane.
you can
It's
still
ridiculous.
But you can still find a way around it. Just because you have a top defense doesn't mean you won't score goals.
You can, but I
No,
mean,
right.
if we're going to think of Tampa Bay, we got to think of last year with the Capitals in Toronto. I mean, we could definitely see a team that had no chance coming in and forcing 6 games.
I mean,
I mean,
And then in the
To
very
your
next
point-
round, that team lost.
Yeah.
right. To your point, I mean, Tampa Bay just traded away a big piece of their offense in
Nemesnikov.
Nemesnikov. So, I mean, that hurts. But
Yeah,
you got
but they also
JT
get
Miller,
a speeder and JT Miller, which is
right?
great.
And then you still
Yeah.
have and
Not-
the
obviously
depth
not as
of this
good.
team is ridiculous.
Yeah, not as
But-
good as Nemesnikov,
Hey,
but
no.
he's.
No,
I gotta,
no, no.
I
I gotta
still
ask,
like him.
guys,
I've
I
always
gotta
liked
ask.
JT Miller.
Hold on. Do you think that the GMs are like really good, close
I think so.
buddies?
They have to be.
Because,
They have to be.
like-
What did I say? I said this to you guys before the show.
do you think that
Everybody that leaves New York goes to fucking Tampa
Do
Bay.
you
You've been
think
saying
that
that
they
for a
share
couple weeks, though.
bedrooms when they go to town with each other?
They
You know,
have to.
just because I'm just saying,
There's gotta
they're-
be-
they're way too chummy. They've been
Yeah.
trading way too much in the recent years for this to be a coincidence.
There's something going on there.
Yeah, I got Danny Danko going off to say, haha, you're welcome, Mikey. I could stay Nashville though, and then
He's
Dan
a
Bakley,
Nashville kind of guy. He likes Nashville.
and we got Daniel
That
Bakley
makes you so happy.
chiming back in with his finals
It
prediction
did because
being
we beat him.
Nashville and Toronto.
I think that would actually be a fun series to watch.
The Anderson and goal in that defense in Toronto. I mean, it
Okay, well,
could.
here's the thing. It depends. Like Tampa, I think is a shoe-in to win whomever they face in the first round because, if they face Columbus and Bobrovsky just puts on the Vezina performance of his life, maybe. But even then, that's a stretch because
Yeah.
Columbus is not as solid as they'd like to be against Tampa Bay. That's the big issue you have there.
I think Winnipeg is going to represent the West.
Wow, Winnipeg could actually possibly break the Canada curse, and they're the youngest team out of all the Canadian teams.
They very well could, but
And they are the most talented. They're one of the more deep teams that are sitting on top of the
there's
division right now.
There's
I didn't
three
mean
other
youngest as
teams.
an age, though.
There's three other teams that I'm starting to like more. I'm starting to like Minnesota. I'm kind of starting to believe in them a little more.
Minnesota, no,
playing
only
hot.
because I know their head coach.
Well, yeah.
Bruce
But-
Boudreau is a regular season guy. When it
Yeah,
comes to
you're
the
true.
postseason, he can only
You're
take
right,
you so
but
far.
just looking at them now, they've been playing a hell of a lot better. Obviously, Vegas is in the mix, and what Danny's been saying too is Nashville. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they're without a doubt to me. They're the top four teams, including Winnipeg. They're definitely the top four teams.
Dude,
Wow.
I wholeheartly agree.
Well-
there's no better teams right now. The Central Division, in my opinion, is the best division in hockey.
Well, currently, looking at it, I don't know.
I mean, all these divisions
mean-
have been tough this year.
Yeah.
I mean, the Metro's been right up there with them when you think about it.
As far as – no, I mean, I agree. The Metro is pretty much top to bottom winning records. The Central is pretty much top to bottom in winning records.
Yeah.
So, I mean –
But
as far as entertainment goes, I think the Central Division has been the best.
Well, it's been crazy just because of the Capitals. I mean, the Blackhawks being so god awful terrible this year that now it's like, oh shit, the Capitals aren't in the division. It's time. It's time for us to take a Stanley Cup. Fuck them. That's basically what all the teams are doing right now. They are pouncing on this opportunity.
Winnipeg and Tampa Bay, I think, are going to be the Stanley Cup final this year.
Now, here's I've got the layout here. And speaking of that, we got the layout of the playoff matchups.
What's
as
the
it
city of
is right now.
Philadelphia like, though? What's been the motto through the Super Bowl? The underdog.
This is true. We would be the
know,
underdogs too because we would
that's
walk
why
right
I-
in. Yeah,
That's why I never like being the top guy because I don't ever like having a lot expected from me. You know, when I feel like you're that number one guy, they expect a lot from you, and it's just a total disappointment. You know, when you lose a freaking game.
True,
So
but
it's like I don't like
mean-
that expectations for my teams going into the playoffs. That's why I hated playing for Steelers this year. I didn't want to play Jacksonville because I knew they were going to beat our ass again.
Okay, but there's that.
You got to
but-
be a realist sometimes, and I knew it was coming.
Okay, well, there's that. That's football. But really, though, in hockey, for
You
the last
never know.
for the last 2 years, though, I mean, it's kind of been heavily favored that Pittsburgh was going to win.
Yeah, but you even got, ESPN fake news. You got them saying Barry Melrose is all, man. Penguins aren't going to do it. Capitals are going to beat them again, and Capitals are going to win a cup.
Wait a minute, did he say it again?
They've been saying the Capitals.
They don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Clearly,
never
because-
picked a top team.
Because
okay?
obviously,
It's not even just that.
Why would you even say Washington would beat Pittsburgh? Are you that freaking dumb? You actually coached the team in hockey to a Stanley Cup Finals? That's bullshit. That was all Wayne
Get him
Gretzky.
outta here.
I don't fucking believe you for 2 seconds. You had nothing to do with
Yeah.
that team's success. That was all Gretzky and Curry. No way in hell. No way.
Well, what I was going to say is the fact that people keep picking the Capitals to win the cup. They haven't learned yet.
Nope.
They
They're
can't
not
get
a
out of the
playoff
second round.
team.
No, they're not.
Nope.
Very
Not
cautious.
And it's a shame because they're a very talented team.
They're like the Cincinnati Bengals in the playoffs. They just can't get the fucking series win.
So the Arizona Coyotes are the Browns then. Gotcha.
Yes.
All right,
They
cool.
don't win games.
No, hold on. Arizona Coyotes are better than the Cleveland Browns because they can win games.
They can.
Cleveland can't.
Yeah, but you know what though? I think if the Cleveland Browns got 82 chances, they would at least win a couple games too.
Not with the team they had last year.
No, I think
Sorry.
they would have. They had a couple close games.
All right. So basically what the layout is, the lay of the land is right now Tampa Bay would face Columbus. Again, that's a matchup that I don't think Columbus wants even in their worst nightmare.
Yeah.
They want to face Washington. But that's the current situation. And if that happens, Tampa wins that. Even if Bobrovsky puts on the performance of a lifetime, Tampa still wins it. Sorry.
Tampa Bay shut them out twice, too. Jesus.
Yeah, so I really – the closest match they had was a shootout, and that went in Tampa's favor. So really, I hate to say it, but I think we should get the brooms out for that bad boy. Tampa would sweep them, honestly.
Real quick, I just want to get to this comment since we were talking about it. Daniel Bakley brings up a very, very valid point.
Rob's doing curling here off to the side.
It's a sweep.
And nothing wrong with curling. USA won gold.
Yes,
They did, actually.
Yes.
Oh, God. USA is going to be Canada South now. Curling's going to take up and become, like, right up there with hockey now. Oh, Christ.
So Daniel Bakley brings up a very valid point. This would be the time for the Capitals could make it now that they aren't the favorites.
Very well, yeah,
This
definitely.
is true.
I mean,
Here's the thing, though.
if they play a Metro team, I think they have a better chance. But
Well-
if they have to end up playing somebody in the Central, they're done.
Well, here's the
Well,
thing,
maybe,
though.
yeah.
Washington, they're most likely going to get somebody in the Metropolitan.
Or Atlantic, excuse me.
Well, currently, right now, they would face New Jersey.
Yeah.
And they actually have a winning record. They only lost in overtime to them 4-3. That was a close game. They beat them 5-2 twice. So if Jersey has a bad start, the Capitals can punish them. And if the Capitals punish them, that's a 6-game series that favors Washington at the end of the day. I would modestly say that. That's the modest way of putting it. Washington still wins, but New Jersey does give them a bit of a headache.
Yeah, and then Washington versus the Flyers.
Yeah, well, I mean, Devils kind of got a little better, too, with the trade deadline, too,
They
acquiring
did.
Michael Grabner.
Michael Grabner and Patrick Maroon.
They did. And I'm
Yeah.
not taking anything
Wow.
away from the Devils. But maybe I am. But
Yes, you are.
I have to say, I actually got to watch that game, the Penguins versus the Devils. Michael Grabner looked phenomenal. Like
He's been looking good the last couple
he-
years.
He had at least 3 or 4 breakaways in that game.
He is ridiculously fast.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's scary.
Yeah.
It's like Hagelin, but 10 times faster.
No, I don't think he's faster than Hagelin, but
No,
he's up there.
I don't know, man.
But you know what?
Been
Look-
watching Hagelin for a couple of years now. I think Grabner might have the wheels beat, man.
But-
That's possible.
Here's the thing, though. Looking at this, I would say the Devils would probably lose the series to Washington 4-2, even with all the additions. I still think that – you know what? I will correct that. I will amend that 7. I will say it's a 7-game series.
I think personally the Devils could actually beat them.
They could.
I think
but
they absolutely could.
I think
I-
they could. I think you flip-flop that and say 6 games.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the only thing that I give in the Capitals' favor full-heartedly. That's goaltending. I like
Yes.
Corey Schneider. He's had a phenomenal
I
year.
like Corey Schneider too.
But
And
Braden
he's
Holtby
back.
is Braden Holtby, and he's a Vezina Trophy winner.
Yeah.
I mean, the truth is that that in itself does help, but I think really at the end of the day, Washington would just win because that's what they do. They beat a team that they're supposed to beat, and then they go to the next round and they lose. That's how their habit is, and I would still say the same thing would apply here. I still think they would beat Jersey. Don't get me wrong. Jersey will give them the biggest fight of their lives. They'll give them a better fight than Toronto did last year, but they'll still manage to survive it barely, and then they'll go to the next round and find a way to get eliminated. That's most likely what will happen to Washington. Again,
We have a troll.
as it happens every year. We always. It happens every time.
Look at the gnome over there.
So we have that. Other matchups in the East, Toronto versus Boston. That's a wild
awesome
series. That's
series.
another 7-game series right there. I will say that right now.
That's an awesome series.
I was going to say Toronto, but you know what? After this, I'm now starting to favor Boston, sadly, and I really don't want to see Boston win this series.
I
I
don't
mean,
wanna
as
see
much
him
as I
either, but
hated
I-
seeing him part with Ryan Spooner, because I think Ryan Spooner is going to be a phenomenal player in this league. The addition of Rick Nash is really going to help them because
Big
it takes
time.
the pressure off of him because now he's not the top dog. And
Yeah.
even with the fact that Boston lost Patrice Bergeron for 2 weeks isn't going to hurt either. Because come playoff time, he's going to be back.
They're basically already set in stone in a playoff spot too. So
Oh, yeah. No, they're not going to. No, that Atlantic division is set.
yeah, it's those 3 teams definitely.
It's all
there's
placement.
5 teams.
Yeah,
from the
I mean,
Metro.
we're
It's all
we
placement
know-
at this point.
It's Toronto and Boston in the first round. We know this. It's just who's going to have home ice. Now, here's the weird part. I would say if Boston has home ice, they definitely win. But I say if Toronto, but it doesn't go to 7 games. If it's the opposite and Toronto does have home ice, it does go 7. However, I still see Boston coming out on top of it, only because I say Rask beats Anderson. That's the only reason I say that.
I mean, like Dan Bakley said a little while ago on here, he said Toronto versus Boston will be a brutal series.
It will be.
I agree. It's going to be a
It will be.
brutal
God.
series.
It's tough to even call. But I would say Boston.
Yeah, I'm going Boston too right now.
I don't want to, but I will say
I would hate
yeah.
it. I'd love to see Toronto, but
Change. Boston now does have home ice advantage currently against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Somebody just won something.
Somebody just won.
I wonder if that has to do with the fact that Boston won tonight.
Boston did. win
Maybe.
tonight, yeah.
It might have something to do with it, but I can't confirm that. We'll have to.
Well, I don't think Toronto played tonight, so
No, they
that would be
didn't.
the only logical.
Yeah, 86 to 85. So, yeah. But what about you, Brian?
This is tough. It's definitely going to be a 7-game series. It's going to be a brutal series. These guys are going to beat the shit out of each other. As much as I agree with Dan Bakley here saying Anderson has had a better year, I got to go with Rask.
I think Tuukka's been better.
Tuukka has he's back to his ways.
Yeah.
Plus, Tuukka did take a team.
They did just
Oh,
lose to Buffalo,
yeah.
but he wasn't in that.
Yeah, and he did also take a team to the Stanley Cup Finals. They didn't win, but he got them there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it
so.
was Tim Thomas that won that. So.
Well, yeah, the Tim Thomas one, that was one, but
Against Chicago.
Against Chicago, he was the goalie.
Yeah.
They didn't win that one, so.
Right, I completely forgot about that.
Your
Yeah, I
chances
know.
against
Isn't that
Chicago in the Stanley Cup are very slim.
Yeah, we're about
Unless
like
you're the Penguins.
Yeah, we're about a
You know,
snowball's chance.
back in the 90s.
It's always back in the 90s.
Yeah, it's nothing new.
Or if you're the
We got
Arizona
smacked
Coyotes
by
that
'em.
somehow eliminated that team one year. How the fuck did that happen, by the way? Literally, I just wanted to pull Chicago aside. It's like, guys, you just lost to the Arizona Coyotes. I'm not saying you should slit your wrist, but I am saying this. That's bad. Like, there's no
You
reason
suck.
you should
Go home.
Yeah, please go home. You're drunk. You should not be losing to the Arizona Coyotes in the playoffs ever. Ever.
I wanted to on Saturday. Not only did we lose, we got shut out. Damn.
It's okay. Your
Is
boy, who was it, Antti Ranta out there?
Oh God, it's
My boy.
Yeah.
How's he
No,
my
I'm
boy?
kidding. Your boy's Max Talbot.
The
Not
look
Max
on
Talbot.
the
Cam
Max
Talbot.
Cam Talbot. Max Talbot. Wait a minute, that's your boy.
Stanley Cup champ, baby.
Although he was a former Flyer, but he did
Yeah,
he did about jacking shit with the
Yeah.
Flyers, so
Yeah.
it didn't really matter.
That's probably
So-
because I got his jersey. That's why.
I love Max Talbot.
I
man.
liked Max when we
Oh,
got him,
yeah.
and then he started playing for the Flyers. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
What a
I don't know
dirk.
what happened there. Yeah. I don't know what happened to his play, but whew, he did not fit in Lavi's system at all.
No.
All right, but I saved this one for last because this is the fun one because of divided loyalties, possibly at this table.
I don't like it.
The Philadelphia Flyers with home ice advantage. Wow, put that one away. The Flyers have not had home ice advantage, by the way, since goddamn 2012 when we faced the New Jersey Devils and we fucking lost. But anyway, against the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's weird. It's very weird to say that we have home ice against the Penguins. Usually it's the other way around. Usually the Penguins have home ice on us.
And it's been a while since, as of right now, that we would have a playoff
Shit.
series. But
I'm looking at this, and Anaheim doesn't have that last playoff spot by much.
No, they don't. 74 points to St. Louis being 74 points.
oh shit.
And they just sold a bunch of players. Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Keep
so
your
that
head
means-
up, Brian.
So only by the row does Anaheim have the wild card spot. Oh, my God. Oh, wow.
This is going to be a very
Relax,
disappointing
relax.
season for me.
Relax. Hey, usually when it's the one year you don't expect it, good things happen, right? I mean, honestly, did anybody
They're
think
going to be a first
But-
round.
no.
elimination.
Oh, no.
That's
Think
how
about
I
it.
feel.
Hey,
I feel the same way.
let me soothe your soul here a little bit. No one thought the Eagles were going to win the Super Bowl after Carson Wentz went down, right?
I did.
Okay,
I
well,
remain
all right.
faithful.
You were one exception to the rule, and maybe a few others here on
I'm gonna be
A2DRadio.com.
honest, I didn't.
But my point, though, is
I was nervous.
a lot of people didn't think it was going to happen because Carson Wentz went down. But yet, even after the couple of stumblings in the final weeks of the season, the Eagles still managed to pull off the Super Bowl.
I was just very nervous after that Christmas Day game. That's what made me kind of like.
I'm just saying. I am just saying. Let's take that into account. When you don't think it's going to
believe me.
happen, it does happen.
Yeah.
So relax.
Hey, listen.
Relax.
Just so everybody knows and is not worried, if anybody sees me hanging from there,
Oh, I thought Tom was up there about to jump off and give me the people's elbow.
No.
There.
if anybody sees me hanging up there come mid-April, just don't worry about
Well,
it. I'm just
all right.
venting.
We'll
So-
get you
I'm just
before it
venting.
happens.
Okay. So you know what? Before we get into this series, we'll go to break. And when we come back, we will talk about Philadelphia and Pittsburgh being a matchup. And we'll also go into the schedules of Washington and Philly because, let's be honest, Philly has a 78 points. Washington has 79. It may possibly be a trade-off, and I pray to God it's not, because in the current standings, if that trade-off happens, we have to face the fucking Devils. I don't want anything to do with them. Leave us alone. Just go away. Please. Just go get sold. Please. Go away. Sold. Please. God. Why is that team still here? God. Hate them. Hate them so much. All right. Stop. All right. Go to break. Stop it. I'm about to go down into the wormhole where I just get into this hatred of the Devils. Anyway.
Just keep going, Maddie. Keep going. Ignore it.
Yeah, chugging along. We're going to ignore my OCD here for a second. Obsessive-compulsive hating the Devils disorder. Actually, it's obsessive-compulsive devil disorder. Anyway, it's actually a real thing. We'll
Okay, Maddie, let's
No, I'm
go.
joking. All right, thank you. This was brought to you by Sports Outlet. For all your sporting needs, look at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030. Email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com. This is the Hockey Happy Hour on A2DRadio.com. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
You're listening to the Hockey Happy Hour, only on A2DRadio.com.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real Talk, A2DRadio.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hockey Happy Hour live on A2DRadio.com. I am Matt Sensudi. That is Mikey Klankoff, and this is Brian Daly, and behind the board is Mr. Rob Povia. And we are brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, your certified public accountants located at 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. You can give them a call at 215-369-3300. Folks, there are very few guarantees in life, and sadly, taxes are kind of one of them. So, with that being said, you always want to be ready, be prepared, get Gibson Mayer.
Payback's going to be a bitch, Maddie.
Oh, you'll probably say something. Well, now it's going to be really a bitch to me because now I got to say this because you did this off mic and it's too funny. It's too funny. So I brought up the Washington Capitals schedule to compare it to the Flyers.
I had a moment.
And Washington was facing Anaheim next week. If you do want to catch that game, by the way, it's Tuesday at 10 o'clock. And
I'll be up for that one.
So with that being said, the very following week there's a home and home that the Washington Capitals are supposed to face against the New York Islanders. This guy over here, the Anaheim Ducks fan, thought it was the Ducks schedule. So
it happens. What are you gonna do? Everybody has moments.
I'm just
He's
saying.
like, holy shit, we have a home and home.
Yeah, he's like, what the hell
Against
is
the
that?
Islanders.
Against the Islanders. What the hell is that? Like, he was freaking out, like literally about to go into a spasm attack.
So
Like,
funny.
It happens. What are you gonna do?
but the funny part of it is,
And I said, "What the fuck is that?"
yeah,
By the way.
yes, it
Yeah.
is. But the funny part of it is, though, is if that actually
Oh
was
my
the case,
goodness.
and they put, and they put,
I'm not used to hearing you curse.
yeah,
Not many people are unless you work with me.
but
For those of you that don't, I find that even funny because I work in a restaurant too.
there
so.
you go. So, but anyway, if that was the case, though, and they scheduled an Eastern Conference team to do that with a Western Conference team, remember that street corner with the magical crack that Bob Murray was taking there to get the deal with Jason Chimera, thinking that I was going to increase his offense and his speed? I think Gary Bettman and the schedule makers would have to have had a hit off that crack pipe in the exact same time and place of that decision to ever think.
Apparently,
of putting
I have had a hit off that crack pipe.
of apparently wanting to do a schedule like that. But anyway, so with that being
Womp
said,
It's okay.
it's all right. It was a human moment. We all have them. With that being said, though, I was comparing Washington and Philadelphia's schedule for a reason that we are going to get into right now. Philadelphia versus Pittsburgh is the current playoff matchup in the East. And here's the funny part. As the season series goes down, Flyers lost to Pittsburgh 5-4 in overtime back in November. Back in January, and I sadly had to witness this. At least I witnessed the second period, and then I turned it the fuck off.
I was like,
But,
hey, Maddie, how's the game going now?
Yeah, and I was like, shut the fuck up. But anyway, 5-1, the Penguins defeated the Flyers. It was a awful second period. One bad shift, and the game changed
The whole game
completely.
changed dramatically.
Unbelievable how that happened. But
Without
anyway,
a doubt.
Flyers and Pittsburgh still have 2 matches coming up, by the way. They have
One
one
in
on the
there.
7th and on the 25th of March. In case anyone wants to watch those games. I know I will be.
I will definitely try to be.
Yeah, those are 2 very key games for the Flyers and the Penguins, as they will both battle for positioning of a possible playoff confrontation. First time since 2012 when the Flyers defeated the Penguins in 6 games.
Well, this is going to be. I mean, that's going
I
to be
had to
fun
do
2
that.
games. I mean, if you think about it, playoff chances are on the line, positioning's on the line. It's going to be a feisty 2 games between these 2
Will be.
rivals.
And the Flyers have something
Yeah.
to prove here because they have to get a win. In my opinion, even if you lose 3 out of 4, if you can at least get 1 win on Pittsburgh, at least it says we know we can beat them. All right, they won the season series. Who gives a shit? What matters is if you win the 4 games in the postseason. That's all that matters at the end.
To be
of
honest,
the
I
day.
don't even think the season series would matter at this point.
No.
And
No.
I personally, right now, looking at the teams right now, I would take the Flyers in 6.
Wow.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, this Flyers team is completely different from the team you saw back in November and January.
This
I have
is true,
to,
yeah.
I have to be a realist sometimes, and the truth is, I have no the scoring is there for Pittsburgh without a doubt, but keeping the pucks out of the net is not. And that's one thing that I kept saying to Brian. I was like, when we were texting each other when you didn't feel like answering your phone.
There's a reason for that. I wasn't receiving the messages.
Actually, I can verify
Yeah.
that.
But it's just the fact that I kept telling him, I was like, they need to get a defenseman. Go pick up that defenseman. Hey, you think they'll get a defenseman in the next 20 minutes? 3 o'clock. We didn't get a defenseman. All right, last 2 games, 11 goals scored on us.
At least you don't have Jason Chimera.
I mean, true. But it also, I mean, obviously it doesn't help that Matt Murray gets a concussion in practice. We lose Zach Aston Reese in practice, out indefinitely with upper body injury. Injuries are coming obviously at a bad time for Pittsburgh, but with the team taken right now, Casey DeSmith as our starting goaltender, I'm giving the nod to Peter Mrazek here. Like I said, I would say Flyers right now in 6 with no Murray in net.
With no Murray in net, that's a tough sell for Pittsburgh, only because no playoff experience.
They'll score. But I don't think the goaltending and defense is good enough to keep us in a close game.
Here's the thing, though. The defense has gotten a lot better since then. And that's the other thing that does come into play. If the defense holds strong enough and actually plays very, very well and is able to control the Penguins, and I say control and I use that term loosely, but if they manage to keep it down and keep the shots to a minimum that reach Mrazek, and Mrazek only has to make, I'm going to be moderately fair here, 30. That's a fair number because you're facing Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean,
so that would
we average
probably
about
be your
36 shots
average.
a
Yes,
game,
that
yeah.
would be your average.
Despite the 20 tonight.
But still, point is if you
Still
can
put up
manage to
4.
keep that around that range, Mrazek can easily do that.
Yeah.
He has the ability to. He has plenty of playoff experience, so it's not a question of whether he can do it.
definitely.
It's a matter of will he do it. And the same thing with the defense. You know, if no question the defense can do it because we've seen them do it against better teams and other teams. Let them do it. You know, if they can do it, they can beat Pittsburgh. They can, and I believe they can. But I do want them to get one win. I would say that I do want them to get one win on Pittsburgh because I don't want them getting a complex.
Well, if they're going to win,
that's the only concern I have is getting a complex of we've lost to them every time we face them. It's like, get that one win. You get that one win, even if it's in Pittsburgh. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Get that one.
I don't
win.
think they'll get the one in Pittsburgh because I believe the game on the 7th is in Philly.
It is.
I think they'll get that one because I'm hoping and praying that Matt Murray will be back. I'm not just saying Matt Murray's the whole difference here, but he is definitely a factor.
Of
course.
Length.
Of course.
But I think the Flyers will win this upcoming game on the 7th, but I do think that they will. It will be a better game on the 25th. I'm not going to say that the Penguins will win. I will say it will be a better game. I think they're still trying to work out the pieces of having no Ian Cole, having, no Ryan Reeves on that fourth line, bringing in a guy, Derek Brassard, and Josh Joris. So it's all working piece. You guys didn't make many changes that's going to alter your team.
Well,
so we're trying to figure out a new defensive core, new third. I mean, we already have Ryan Shannon. I'm kind of still. I mean, I love the fact that we got Brassard, but I'm still kind of confused in the fact of now we have 2 third-line centers that are solid third-line centers. So I guess Shannon's moving to the fourth line, who the season has probably been playing better than Brassard.
So it makes
I
no
don't
sense.
know.
Yeah.
I don't.
But
Believe me, I said defense all along. We didn't need anything on offense. It's like I'm fucking watching the Steelers again. We don't need offense. We need defense.
So I would say the Flyers win this, but I'm not going to say 6. I would say 7. I think the teams – don't get me wrong, though. The injuries and everything, they still have Evgeny Malkin, Sidney Crosby.
No doubt.
And that's enough to get you to 7 games. That doesn't scare – that wouldn't be the big issue. And also, the Flyers defense, as much as I love it when it plays well, it has its moments where it is god-awful. And I don't – it's so hot and cold sometimes.
I mean, watching the game, the Penguins game the other night against the Devils, you just could see how many defensive breakdowns there were. So too many odd man rushes. I mean, we noticed it in the game that I don't know how the fuck the Penguins won, but we beat you guys that day.
Yeah.
And you guys, I'm not even counting, like the third period in the first 5 minutes, you guys probably had like 7 2-on-1s.
Well,
I'm like, how are they not winning this game?
It was terrible. Like, I don't know what was happening.
It was bad.
It's one of those nights where it's just like, you know what? It was going to happen no matter what. We were not meant to win this game.
It was
for what
the ugliest
reason.
5-1 victory I think I've ever seen.
It was so bad. It was such a bad loss for the Flyers. It's a loss that leaves a bad taste in your mouth because you know you were in the game. You never were technically out of it, even though on the scoreboard you completely were.
Yeah, definitely.
But with that being said, though, I would say 7. I would say the Flyers do win in 7, and it does become a very tough series because, really, honestly, I don't see Pittsburgh not matching up against the Flyers. I think they will.
No,
I think it'd be a lot closer than what you're saying.
Obviously, I think the Penguins' offense is so much better than not so much better, but they are better than the Flyers' offense.
Oh yeah, well I think that's obvious.
But I think that's
yeah.
I think that's the only category we beat you guys in. Other than Chris Letang, I think Chris Letang is the best defenseman out of all of them. But if you're looking at a core defensive group, I'm picking the Flyers over Pittsburgh.
On defense on that side, fine. But on goaltending, Matt Murray does win. It doesn't really matter who we have in net. If he's there, then they win in the goaltending department. But if not, then actually it favors us, which is very weird that goaltending would favor the Flyers in any playoff series, not just this one.
Like I said earlier in the show, though, I think you guys have a great carousel of goaltenders. You have probably the best issue in goaltenders I've seen in a while. So
For the Flyers, anyway.
Yeah.
For the Flyers, yes, on that one. I mean, basically we have, Elliott is more than capable of taking a Flyers team long in the playoffs. He did it with St. Louis. Mrazek can do it. He did it with the Red Wings. And then with Neuwirth, I mean, Neuwirth's not a bad goalie, but let's be honest here. I don't know if he's a playoff goalie. And he gets hurt too much, and that's the reason why I don't really want him to play. He's going to get hurt
I would
again.
honestly, when Brian
Honestly.
Elliott comes back healthy, I think he is your starting goaltender.
Oh, well,
No,
yeah.
Peter Mrazek. You rock with Peter Mrazek.
Really?
Let
no.
Elliott back him up. And then Neuwirth, you just kind of take your time with him.
Yeah.
Because Neuwirth, he's like you said, he's
I
not
was-
a playoff caliber.
Yeah, I was kind of
Goaltender.
surprised, though, when they kept him, too. I thought they were going to get rid of both goaltenders last offseason, to be honest.
Honestly, I thought that they were to make room for Stolars to be back up to
Yeah.
Elliott, but that didn't
Obviously
happen.
hurt out for
And
the season.
Stoley
Well,
wound up
yeah, I mean,
taking
he's been
an injury.
activated now, but he's
Ha-
not playing yet.
However, though, Lyon hasn't performed bad, so I mean that isn't the worst thing in the world. We got to see Alex Lyon, so that could have been worse.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Neuwirth being a playoff goalie, he's too inconsistent.
No, he is.
He's too. I'm good one day. I'm good 2 days. Oh, now I'm going to suck for 3 weeks. So I mean, that's clearly an exaggeration, but you know what I'm trying to get at. His inconsistencies are too far between.
So Brian, I want to get your opinion here: Philly or Pittsburgh?
Well, I was listening to you guys. So I think offensively, this is going to be right down the middle. I think the offenses are very similar.
They're going to be high-scoring games.
Oh,
They absolutely are.
Every game's going to
Yeah.
be like a 5-4, 5-3.
So whatever defense
something.
actually holds stronger in the
Yeah.
latter games wins the series.
I think the offenses are very similar. I think the Flyers are starting to gel at the right time. And that's something that Dave Haxall is very good at, is getting his teams ready for the second half. Now, as far as defenses go, I do like the Flyers. I give the Flyers the edge there. But I think it's really what it's going to come down to is it's going to be goaltending.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think that Pittsburgh is going to be out of it, even with their issue with Matt Murray and his concussion. I think he'll be back in time.
I'm sure I'll hope so.
Obviously, they're going to take their time bringing him back, but this is, like Maddie said, this is going to be a 7-game series because this series is going to be more evenly matched than people think it's going to be.
Yeah. It's
So,
possible, but
it's going 7.
I just don't
I
have
might
high
have-
hopes. I don't have high hopes.
Now I'm trying to think.
I think it's going to be Pittsburgh in 7.
Really?
Yeah. I think just because of the jersey he's wearing, the guy on the back, he's probably the best leader on any team.
Yeah.
He'll get him through that series. I love Giroux, but
Here's the thing about that though. It depends.
What
I
did
mean,
you
now
do?
here's the thing though. Here's the one thing that I think could tip it in the Flyers' favor is that the Penguins start to get frustrated. Because here's the thing though. If the Penguins
Which you know in that series will
Yeah.
happen.
Here's the thing, though. If the Flyers remain disciplined enough, and they have shown that they can be very disciplined, which
11 penalties
even
in
Rocco
9
Gudis has been
games.
able to prove that he's been able to stay disciplined, and that shocks me.
Yeah, they've only killed 11 penalties in 9 games going into tonight's game. So
And the point of that is saying that, like, if they can get the Penguins completely off their game, that everything the Penguins doing isn't working, so they're going to try and play with a little bit more chip in them, and they start getting called for penalties. Special teams-wise has been actually very good for the Flyers. That could be a bad situation for Pittsburgh if they start playing the who's going to out-tough the other one game. Because if they start playing that one, even though the Flyers wouldn't out-tough the Penguins immediately, they'd screw them up on the scoreboard. And be like, ooh, big mistake. You don't want to fall into that abyss. Now, I'm not saying the Penguins will. They have been able to avoid that a lot. But here's the thing, though. It's Philly and Pittsburgh. It's going to be heated.
It's a bloodbath.
It's going to be
So
a heated series.
Whoever
Yeah.
comes out of that series is going to get their ass beat in the next one.
you know what's funny? Now that you guys say that, I kind of changed my opinion a little bit. I think Pittsburgh still wins it, but it's going to come down to special teams, not goaltending.
Well, I mean, if we're going to go special teams, then I think wholeheartedly Pittsburgh's going to win.
Yeah,
that.
because Pittsburgh's got the better power play.
They have best
But the
power
penalty
play
kill-
in the league by 4% right now.
Well,
But here's the thing. Like, I like the way that the Flyers have been playing on their penalty kill as of late, And I think bringing
Yeah.
in Johnny Uduya is going to help that even more.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though.
Whenever he gets here.
What I'm
Yeah.
I'm saying is not necessarily an immediate special teams war. What I'm saying is that if the Flyers play disciplined enough and the Penguins are the ones who are taking too many unnecessary penalties, the Flyers' power play has been good.
Yeah, definitely.
So if they can actually keep the Penguins
when
in
I
the
do it.
box and keep them undisciplined, it actually could favor the Flyers, and they can turn their greatest weakness into an offense, and that is they can stay out of the box and the Penguins can't.
Yeah.
If that happens,
that's
it
the
favors
whole
the
thing of the
Flyers.
series, though, is that the Flyers have to stay more disciplined than Pittsburgh.
They do.
And if
That's
they do,
tough.
they can win the series easily. Because if the Penguins aren't getting power play chances, most of their goals have come from power plays. I mean, whenever they have 3 opportunities, they're at least scoring ones.
Yeah.
I mean, almost. I mean, I think they have 28.4% on the power play this season, ranking obviously number
That's almost
one.
that's almost one out of 3.
Almost 1 out of 3. So, I mean, and the PK isn't as bad either. I mean, I think they're ranked 12th. I just saw the standings yesterday. I want to say that they're ranked 12th on the penalty kill.
I
But
mean,
special teams has always been good for us.
it has been.
But
Well, look at the talent you have in Pittsburgh. I mean, Flyers are starting to find theirs.
yeah,
So, I mean, and they got a new coach this
obviously,
year, too. So,
yeah, and TK.
not making excuses, but
I even just the movement aligns a little bit too. Obviously, we know things are clicking. I mean, 6
Yeah.
games in a row they've won. Obviously,
6
not counting
games.
tonight.
Mike, I brought up the stats. What did you need to know?
I think penalty kill. I think they're 12th. The Penguins, that is.
10-1-2 in their last 13.
Yeah,
see here.
they've gotten points in their last 12 minus tonight.
Yeah.
I have overall for the season.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I just went right past them. Overall on the season, Pittsburgh's 13th.
Okay. I was
So you're
close.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's not the greatest, but still not bad. It's probably, like a 78%?
It's weird. They have it. Their percentage. I guess that's that they allow goals on and opportunities is 2.9%. It doesn't have like an overall kill percentage here.
Interesting.
Damn,
That's
Fox Sports.
Fox Sports. There's your answer.
There's your problem right there.
So,
What
but
the hell?
I mean, it's
Next
definitely.
link.
I mean, here's the thing, though. Divided everything is. I mean, special teams wise, yes, it does favor the Penguins, but at the same time, though, it depends. It really depends on what team's just a little bit more disciplined than the other. What team gets more frustrated first. What team, if it
Penguins.
comes down to goaltending,
The angry Russian and Malkin. I mean,
it depends on what goalie is, standing on his head, and also what defense is going to hold strong in the long run. Also, we have to remember the Flyers are still a very young team. As compared to the Penguins, yes, the Penguins have a lot of young players, but they still have enough veteran core there that has been in the playoffs enough to where they can carry a team, and that has been shown twice in the last 2 seasons. So it doesn't really matter what players they bring up. It's just they have enough there to say, okay, we can do this. So it's not exact. It's a tough series. It's a coin. It'll be a coin flip.
easily.
It'll be a big-time coin flip. We don't know who will win,
Yeah.
really, at the end of the day. But
81.4% penalty kill.
there you go. Whew.
That's not bad.
Yeah, in comparison to the Flyers, 75.4%.
Yeah, what are they, 29th?
The one in the penalty kill department?
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
God.
They
But
moved up because they were 31st
yeah, but
not
see,
too long ago.
See, that's the thing, though. That's why, if as long as you stay disciplined and the Penguins are the ones in the box, you can turn your greatest weakness into a positive. Just don't take bad penalties.
That's
if you're
the name of the game. It's all about discipline.
Yeah, and if they, like I said, if they can keep if they can keep themselves out of the box and not let the Penguins take advantage of their really solid power
Yeah.
play, then they're in good shape. Then they're like, all right, we're not going to get baited into stupid shit. We are not going to make that mistake like
Yeah.
we did last year.
What's the first fight of the series? I got mine. I'm going Jamie Alexiak versus Wayne Simmons.
It's a good one.
The 6'7" giant versus Wayne Simmons.
I like that, actually.
I love it.
I can't think of anybody else, really, that'll
No,
drop the
yeah,
ball.
last couple
that's a very
games.
good point. Yeah,
I think Giroux and Crosby will go at it at some point.
Oh, they easily.
They
yeah.
should
By
have-
at
they
least
should have in
game
2012.
3.
They never
By game
did.
3, it'll be one of those.
I'm going by second period of the
The
first
little
game.
let me swipe his glove away as he goes to pick it up.
That was Voracek. That was such a
That was-
dick
Dude,
move.
I
That
loved
was
it.
a dick
I loved
move,
it. It
yeah.
was such a
I'm
salty
surprised
move, but I loved
really
it.
was.
Timonen actually gripped him up too, and I thought,
Yeah.
oh shit, Timmy was about to whip
was about
Crosby's
to kill
ass,
him.
right?
Don't
Timmy was
do
about
it,
to
Sid.
whip Crosby's
Don't do
ass.
it.
Holy shit.
What are you thinking?
And Tiemann not that kind of player either, but Tiemann was about to beat that ass like big time.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Sometimes I
man.
look at him, I'm like, Crosby, knock it off.
Enough.
You know who you
Stop
can't
it.
battle with, all right?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Hold on, real quick. James Wilder's chiming back in on Facebook Live. Feel free to do the same. James says, "Fuck the Leafs, they stink." That's
Canadian
not
in
even
them.
the best part. Individually, they're good players, but as soon as you put on that jersey, you're literally just human garbage and won't win a cup. Matthews is about to become the Dan Marino of the NFL.
Ooh.
Fuck him.
Actually, no. A
Damn.
correction. He'll be the
Laces
Alex
out.
Ovechkin of the NHL.
Does that work? Because Alex Ovechkin is already in the NHL.
No, but he's still currently without a cup.
Yeah, but I think
And he
I
probably
think-
will continue his entire career without one if he stays in Washington.
Do I want to actually say I hope he never gets a cup because I'm leaning so much more towards it?
Go right ahead. Say you don't want him
Ovi
to get
or
a cup.
Austin?
Ovi. No, Austin, I would love to see win a cup.
But you don't want Ovi to
In
win
Pittsburgh when he gets there in a couple. No, I'm kidding. But I do think Toronto will get there in his
Not yet.
in his time span
Oh,
that
absolutely.
he's on that team.
Just not yet.
But not yet, definitely.
I
not
mean,
yet.
I like their goaltending. I like where their offense is. I think their defense needs a piece or
Yeah.
two there.
All right.
And I think they're definitely going to be a contender.
All right, so now that we've dissected the Philly-Pittsburgh matchup, I'm sure we will be doing this 1,000 times before the playoffs
next,
actually
next
begin.
week we'll see where we're at again.
Yeah, we'll see where we're at.
It might be a whole different week. We might be
Yeah.
in the wild
Plus,
card
we'll
playing
all-
Tampa Bay.
Plus,
so.
let me check. Let me see. The 7th is a Wednesday, so we will actually be on the aftermath of the
Okay, good. I'll
Pittsburgh-Philadelphia
actually be able to
matchup.
watch
So,
that game because I don't have class tonight.
oh, there you go.
I have to work, so I'll miss it.
Actually, my class will be over by that time, so hell yes,
Yeah.
winning. All right,
Winning.
with that
Fuck
being
you,
said,
bro.
I have no class.
Nerd.
All right, so next up, to the Western
Nerd.
Conference we go, into the backyard of Mr. Brian Daly here. And let's see. We've
The
got
backyard.
the goal. Well,
Who's in my backyard?
you in the
Your
playoffs
dog?
of the
Oh,
Western
I'm in the
Conference.
backyard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, so the Vegas Golden Knights, Brian's favorite team in the entire West, facing off with the Dallas Stars. I think the Knights win this series.
You think?
Yeah.
Knock it off,
yeah.
Matty. You know.
I think it's 6. I think Vegas
Yeah.
wins it in 6. but they
Yeah,
win
I'll
it.
go with that one. All right, San Jose versus Los Angeles. This one's
This
a
series
bit
is
of
always a good series.
It is. It's a bit of a crapshoot.
It's
Who
weird.
goes down 0-3 and comes back to win it this time?
That's where
All right,
we're
well,
going.
correction. San Jose was down 3-1 when they came back and won.
Whatever.
LA was down 3-0.
You know what I meant.
Just saying, technicalities. But anyway,
Fuck technicalities.
I'm gonna say I'll go San Jose. Why not? I don't. I'm
As
just gonna-
always, it's going to be a 7-game series between these two.
Yeah, I was gonna go San Jose just because it's a coin toss.
I don't know. I kind of like the Sharks.
Look
Oh,
at
do you? Because I remember all season long you've been bashing them and saying that they're not that good of a team
Okay,
anymore.
but to be fair,
But they're
they
not.
Were about to face,
I still think they're a better team than Los Angeles.
But to be fair, they were about to face the Calgary Flames, and they would have had no chance in hell of beating the Calgary Flames.
And plus,
So-
think about it this way. San Jose just picked up a 20-goal scorer in Evander Kane. Paid a little over much for him.
Yeah.
Are
But
you
they got
surprised?
Evander Kane.
That's like Vegas paying for what's his name? Oh God.
Oh, Thomas Tatar.
Yeah, Tatar.
Tatar.
They
A
paid
first round
lot.
They gave up a
First, second,
first-round
and
pick,
third.
second round pick, and a
but
third-round
that's
pick.
the thing, though. That's the thing, though.
That's
when-
why they stored all those draft picks. That's why they were
Yeah.
trading for them.
it
Yeah,
was
so
pretty
there you
smart.
go. They now have that.
Traded-
And they have to
Traded
for
away
another
players they drafted that night.
Just to make room to get
Just-
more draft picks to trade for Thomas Tatar later
Yeah.
in the year. It all makes sense now. It's all coming together. The evil scheme has worked.
It is working, though.
It really is.
It's like fucking Moneyball. It's
He got
working
Tatar
them.
for another 2 or
God.
3 years.
Oh
Yeah.
my- But seriously, it's like Moneyball in the NHL. Players that don't stand out, but it's fucking working. What the fuck is going on here? Anyway,
It just works. It's a good scheme. It's working. But
No, I'm going Kings. I'm going to go Kings. I have
All
been
right.
more towards San Jose's side. I just wanted to see how Brian would react.
but you're gonna say
no, I mean I still
he
hate
hates
him.
both
but
teams.
Yeah, no, but
I hate any
think-
team that's in that division. And I have a funny feeling there's going to be another team added to that division.
I think personally now that the Kings have Jeff Carter back, I think it's going to ultimately boost them
helps.
a lot.
Plus,
It
Johnny
helps.
Quick can always decide to pull off an amazing playoff run when he fucking feels like it. So
yeah,
you
Johnny
know,
Quick is a Stanley Cup champion, so I think he could.
twice. Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, you got no response. All right, so now
What do you want me to say? It's the truth.
All right, moving on.
Anaheim gets swept.
That really? You're just
Yes.
automatically saying that
Yes.
without even a remote
defense-
snowballs and chance
defense-
in
Who are they
hell?
playing?
for
Nashville?
Nashville.
First of all,
No,
here's the thing.
I'll give him one.
Here's
no, I'm not going to say they're going.
One in Anaheim.
I'll be a nice guy. Give him one.
Anaheim has lost both games to Nashville so far this year.
Okay, but what was it?
Anaheim has been having a huge trouble closing out games all season long. Now, granted, most of the teams have had injuries. Most of the players have been hurt all year long. They're healthy and they're still not finishing these games. So, that being said, Nashville being the team that they are, one of the best defenses in the NHL, one of the best goalies in the NHL, Anaheim doesn't have a shot.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
You want to talk about being real? I'm being a realist here.
I'm going
They don't have a
Anaheim
shot
in
against
this series,
Nashville.
6 games.
And if you're right, I'm coming after you on the air.
Why would you come after me? I mean, I'm just
your team
I'm
did just
fucking-
win.
Because I'm going to sit here and say that their first round exit. Then again, I said that last year. They got
last year they went all the way to
they
the
went to the Western Conference Finals.
And oddly enough, they faced this team.
He's
That's
like,
the
wait,
funny
maybe I
part.
should say it again. It all adds up. All right.
It all makes
All right,
sense.
but here's the weird part, though. That team that they lost to in the Western Conference Final, they would beat in the first round, so the team that they would worry about facing is gone. So there you go. It's there. It's gone.
Yeah, I'm too scared though.
Then
And
they would have the
even
Vegas
if they-
Knights.
Oh,
Listen.
God. Yeah, then they'd have to have
Bingo.
the New Jersey Devils of the Western Conference.
Bingo.
Oh, God. That's basically what they are officially that.
No,
they are
would
the
they?
New Jersey Devils of the
No,
Western
they
Conference, the
wouldn't. They
Vegas
would-
Golden
they
Knights.
They would
are.
play the winner, Winnipeg and Minnesota.
Ooh. Winnipeg.
Yeah, so I mean,
And they would win that in 6 games, too.
Oh, God. Okay, so now we have.
so Anaheim's out first round.
All right, so then we have Winnipeg versus
Yeah, all right. Let me stop joking.
Okay,
Nashville in 6.
Winnipeg versus Minnesota. I have actually Nashville in 6. All right, Winnipeg versus Minnesota.
I think Winnipeg sweeps.
Ooh, damn,
Bold.
damn.
That's the only sweep of the first round. Winnipeg versus Minnesota.
I don't know, because I would say the only sweep I see right now is Tampa versus Columbus. I'd say one win for Minnesota in Minnesota.
Well, Winnipeg has won 4-3 in October, 2-1 in October, 7-2 in October. Minnesota's only won 1, and that was.
So that's my point.
was
They
in
would
January.
win one. So there you go. They win one
Nah.
in Minnesota. It all
I don't
works
think
out.
so.
I mean, I think they won that one in Winnipeg, but still, doesn't matter.
I'm with you, Maddie. I'll give Minnesota 1, but that's about it.
Yeah,
Even
that's
though
it,
I was hyped about them a little bit in the beginning of the show. Again, I'm a realist. Going Winnipeg in 5.
All right, so there we have it. So we got Minnesota winning in that series. We got Nashville beating Anaheim. We got San Jose defeating the Los Angeles Kings with the exception of this guy. And then we got Vegas easily defeating the Dallas Stars. I think that's safe to say. Actually, do we
Yeah.
have them beating them easily?
No, I don't think so. Dallas is a much better team than they were last year.
So 6?
I'm going to say it might go 7.
7, okay.
The defense is playing better. The offense is playing
I'll
way
go
better.
6.
I'm going to say 6.
Vegas definitely wins, so.
I'm going to say Vegas wins, though.
Flower power.
The flower power.
But I think there's one subject we need to talk about tonight before we get off the air here.
What, the Arizona Coyotes almost getting 20 wins?
No.
Oh, okay.
So there's going to be a 32nd team in the NHL.
There
Yes.
is.
The Seattle
Yes.
market has sold out of season tickets
Ooh.
in, I think they said, what,
6 minutes?
Okay, so
Yeah.
12 minutes.
120
All right.
seconds or something like that?
720.
720 seconds.
So what are they going to be called? I mean, I don't think they can be called the Metropolitans because now there's a Metropolitan Division. That'd be kind of annoying and stupid.
No, I don't think they're going to go with the Metropolitans. I think they have a
the
list.
Mets. That's-
Yeah.
So it'd be the Seattle Mets.
They'll go
They-
Seattle Supersonics. Wait a
Wait a
second.
they're
minute.
also-
Why does that sound familiar?
I wonder why.
Owner that's bidding for the NHL team also wants to bring the NBA team back. But that's a whole other
there
story.
you go.
Okay, see, it's
There's a
legal.
list. No.
The Sounders. That's what it will be.
That's-
Just like the MLS team,
Yes.
they'll match them.
I like it.
Color scheme and all.
Seattle Spitfire.
I think,
I got it.
well, there's a list of teams
Oh.
out there that they want to call them.
The Seattle Cobains, man. You just have a
The
picture of
Seattle
him.
Cobains. You should just make them the Seattle Shotguns. But anyway.
I was going to go there, but I didn't want to drag down your show.
Ooh.
And there went all of our viewers.
Oh, come
Oh,
on.
look at that. We're down to 4.
He killed himself in 93.
Yeah.
For Christ's sake, will somebody
down
please
to
just
3.
get
Beyond the-
over it?
I think we're
Jesus.
beyond the
Down
to
statute of
2.
limitations now.
I think it's just me and
God.
you watching.
Oh,
I
come
like
on.
that. Dean Jones says, I like that. Go ahead, Brian. Read it off.
Oh, Dean Jones chiming in saying the Seattle Super Soakers.
Yes.
Super Soakers. You know what they should be? The Seattle
Oh, my
Devils.
childhood.
The Seattle Devils. Get the New Jersey Devils out of the fuck out of the
There's
East.
a list somewhere of the teams that they want to use, the team names that they want to use, but I don't remember any.
Remember when the
Seals
Golden
were one
Knights
of
came
them.
out and how much we laughed about that team name?
Now they became the New Jersey Devils
Yeah.
of the West. No one wanted them to fuck there, and now look at what they're doing.
But,
there we
you
go.
know, 32 teams is where they need to stop.
Yes.
Expansion
Yes.
is done here.
It
Yeah.
has to be.
Because they've balanced out the division, so it'd be pointless. And they would
That was
have.
weird. I apparently closed the window that I had open. But anyway. But yeah, I mean, I agree. 32 teams.
If
That's
he
it.
goes any further, I'm done watching.
That's not true for me, but
That's
That's too much.
Right.
No.
Yeah, right.
But no, it would be. They don't need to do 32 because they already have problems getting fans in the stadiums in some teams now.
Well,
but
okay,
also look at
yes.
the product of those teams.
Arizona sucks.
Yeah,
The
Okay,
teams
we gotta
suck.
stop picking on Arizona.
but
I think it's gone too far.
It's all about location, though. Who the fuck
Agreed.
wants to watch hockey in a 104-degree state?
I agree with you.
I don't.
It is location.
I mean, yeah, I'd like ice to get away from the heat, but I mean,
But Seattle's a perfect city. And I don't know
Technically,
why
you're
they
not
haven't
anyway.
gotten to Seattle
Well,
yet.
Here's the thing. Well,
So what do you think,
although-
2020? Stadium's already in the middle of being built.
well, they already technically have a stadium with the Supersonics being there.
But I think they
I don't
wanted
think they're
to
using
update
that.
it to
They're,
NHL
they're
standard.
updating the stadium. I
Are
think
they?
it's already in the process
Yeah.
of being built.
So, I mean, but here's the thing, though. They would balance the teams out, so why would you ever expand? You have 32 teams. You have an even division in both conferences, so there's no purpose.
Seattle.
If you go
Shanks.
from 34, you have to go to 36.
Screw that.
No. No.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like from here, you have it perfect. You have, what is it, 8 teams in each division?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's perfect.
So now, because now
Well,
they're
finally,
yeah,
there's
'cause
been
they're-
16 teams in the East, so
Yeah.
compared
For like
to 14
7
in
years
the West,
now.
which is freaking ridiculous.
like what is it with the NHL? They have to make everything a 9-step
think
project. By the way,
Nashville-
that realignment still sucks. I'm still saying it now. That realignment blows ass.
I
the
think
way they
Nashville
realigned.
finally goes over to the East to make room for Seattle.
I don't
And then
know.
somebody else that's on the East right now has to come back to the West, and I think it's
Okay.
going to be Detroit.
That would be fine for Detroit because Detroit's rivals are over there, and Nashville at the same
Wait,
time.
who'd you say is going to come to the East?
I think Nashville goes to the East,
Which
and
makes
Detroit
sense.
comes back to the West.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though.
I think that's what it should be anyway.
Nashville would be an Atlantic Division team.
Definitely.
They would be an
Well, yeah,
Atlantic
because
division.
that would take Detroit out of the Atlantic.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that would obviously be the case. Even if it would be that you took one out of the Metro, you would still have to consider putting Nashville in there just for traveling reasons alone. They would have to be in the Atlantic. But
Yeah, but for the Western Conference teams to be traveling as far as they are to get to Nashville 3 times a year, or probably like 3
well,
times
for
a year,
Anaheim
2 times,
3 times
yeah.
a year.
It's stupid.
Wow.
So
Excuse me.
I would still say this, though. Once they've balanced out the divisions, there's no purpose anymore. Enough with the expansion. You now have 32 teams. You match the NFL that had the most teams in a league. There is no point to it. It's bad enough that you want to try and compete with the NFL, which you fucking can't. Like, why would you even try to continue expansion? There's no point to it.
yeah.
I think at this point, if you want to bring in another city, you have to move some of these markets that aren't doing good. And it
that
sucks to
point,
say,
yeah.
but it is.
Arizona has to go. That's the first team that has to leave. Put a team in Canada again. Just put them back in fucking Canada. Seriously,
The
do it.
Nordiques.
If they do
They-
that, then
They're already talking like they don't want another market in Quebec, and I don't know why.
You want to know why? Because I think they honestly did not have a good experience with the last owners of the Quebec Nordiques, which they didn't. They did not. The owners and the NHL did not get along well. It's stupid, though, because the team would make a shit ton of money. Why would you do
Yeah.
this? Like, it makes no sense. I mean, they've been talking about putting a second team in Toronto. Why the fuck do you want to put a second team in Toronto? Everybody's a Toronto Maple Leafs fan there.
Yeah, no. You
That's
don't do
kind of
that.
dumb. Like, seriously.
That's like
No, I
2
get it.
LA teams in basketball.
Yeah.
Nobody likes the Clippers. Nobody's gonna like the second Toronto team. Okay.
Like, seriously.
Yeah, no team, no second team in Toronto.
It's bad enough Ottawa almost failed right out of the gate when they came
Yeah,
back.
which I mean, they were even possibly talking about moving this year too. So
Where would they go? That's the weird part.
no,
Anyway,
Things
that-
we'll have to discuss next week.
That-
Oklahoma
yeah.
City.
so would that be? All right, with that being said, I think it's time we close this one out before we get more ridiculous. Anyway.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, Oklahoma City Barons. Whatever. Anyway, this edition of Hockey Happy Hour on Last Call was brought to you by the Scazano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-889-3434. You can visit them on the web at www.scazanosports.com. This has been the Hockey Happy Hour on A2DRadio.com, and we will see you all next week on A2DRadio.com.